You are listening to That Big CEO Energy, where we talk all things business, life, marriage, and push you to a new edge of discovering what that big CEO energy means for you. Listen, I understand that we have barriers that we carry from when we were once employees, and those have impacted us as we continue to build our businesses. I'm here to walk alongside you and give you encouragement through interviews with friends and other women in business who have broken down those barriers and paved their own way. Tune in with me as we uncover some of the unconscious things that we do that keep us from building that big CEO energy we've always dreamed about. Let's dive in. It's my birthday. I love this for me. And I love this for you because I get super, super jazzed about my birthday every year. I love birthdays. I love celebrating people. I love celebrating laps around the sun. And that's how we're going to show up today. So if it is also your birthday, whatever time of the year you're watching this, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Birthdays are so special. And as I said, I love celebrating birthdays. I love celebrating people. And anytime that we can have cake, honestly, let's just have some cake. Not the focus of today's podcast. However, just had to let you know that I love cake. I am so excited for this year to just kind of come to an end for a lot of reasons, but I wanted to kind of reflect on what 37 has sort of meant to me. And there are two different types of people. There is one type of person that doesn't like to age, right? Will not reveal their age, will not tell people how old they are because of fear that it is just going to be, I guess I don't know what the fear is. And that is fine. If you are that person, that is your jam, that is great. But what I would want to encourage you to think about is, where's that feeling coming from? Why do you feel like your birthday is a hardship to people? Why do you feel like your age is a hardship to people? And so I just encourage you to go a little bit deeper with that, because 9 times out of 10, it's from some sort of trauma that we have experienced in our life. And, it usually comes from our childhood. And I will share with you that I did not have a great birthday remembering growing up as a child. I remember maybe 2 birthdays. One was we had a sleepover and I was in grade school. And so when I went to grade school, I had a very small group of friends. And the reason for that is because the school size itself was small. Like, I graduated 8th grade with, I think, 8 or 9 people. So, and it was a parochial school. So if that tells you anything. And I remember having a sleepover, and I remember getting a Miss Piggy lunchbox. But that's the only birthday that I remember. And I just think about that and I get really, really sad. And it makes me tear up a little bit because I think about my daughter and the birthdays that she's had. And she's had, 1 or 2 birthdays that hasn't really panned out the way it is. But I've always tried to make her birthday a big deal and give her an experience, right? And so then there's the other side of the coin where people love their birthday, right? It's a birthday month and they celebrate it all and they do all this stuff and things. And I think that's really wonderful. And I have really tried to move into being that type of person where I am celebrating other individuals when their birthday comes up very outwardly. I am celebrating myself when my birthday comes up. Because let's be honest, not every day is promised, right? And so when you get to the point of being graciously handed another lap around the sun, there's value in celebrating for that. And I look for any moment to have a little bit of a celebration, but I think our birthdays are really particular celebrations because it celebrates who we are as a person. And we get to reflect on our accomplishments. We get to reflect on the past year, maybe that has transpired, or even, for me, the past 37 years that has really transpired. And what I would say is if you are the kind of person, right, where you are person number one that doesn't really enjoy their birthday, I encourage you to do something random and something fun. Just something random and something fun for your birthday to celebrate yourself because you're worth it. And so I wanted to just kind of take a moment to reflect on 37 years. I mean, that is just, honestly, it's a little wild. Number one, because I don't feel 37 years old. I really don't. And which is a wonderful thing. But I've spent many, many years feeling older. I've spent many, many years feeling younger at times. And so it's just interesting to me that at 37, I have 37 whole years to reflect back on. And within my 37 years, I could definitely say that I have accomplished a ton, but I still have so much more to accomplish. And I was putting together this challenge that I'm actually going to do every November. I've just decided that that's what I'm going to do because I think it's really, really good for me to challenge myself on putting all of my ideas together in some actionable form, right? And I was just having this conversation with one of my clients last night of she has tons of ideas and, she could start any sort of business in a matter of moments. That is just who she is. She is the figure-outable person. And that is really lovely, but it's also a really big curse. And the reason why is because we have to get to a point of letting some things be fleeting thoughts, letting some things kind of flow into us and then flow out of us. Because if we don't do that, number one, we feel a lot of shame if we're not addressing them right away, or if we see someone else doing that and we think to ourselves, see, I should be doing that. But then we also overwhelm ourselves because then we start to think that we're not doing enough or we don't have enough tools in our tool belt to be able to execute those things, and we don't have enough help, and yada, yada, yada. And those are all valid things to think about. But when I think about 37 years of progress, from the past 4 years, I can give you maybe a handful of real, actionable, tangible decisions and results that have been made in my business that have moved the needle of my business forward. And the reason why I don't have more is because I try to, at every step and every decision that I make, really reflect on, is that serving me? Is this going to help me? Is this longevity for me? Because if it's not a longevity situation, then I don't want to do it. I don't want anything that I'm doing to be fleeting. And so if I'm going all in, right, I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm going all in. But what happens sometimes is I have other thoughts and other ideas that I tend not to address because I'm so scared that the other things that I'm doing are going to be less important, are going to fall to the wayside. And I'm not giving myself a new path, right? A new way of thinking, a new way of doing things. And so I'm telling you this because I don't want you to be this person. Because I think of the past 4 years and I think to myself, I could have done so much more in that 4 years. I really could have. But what happens is if I start to think that way, that doesn't do anything for me. And so on my birthday month, I have decided that this is going to be a month of growth. This is going to be a month of kicking off my new year of 38, 39, 40, whatever next year's come, right? Of working back through ideas that maybe I've had or maybe, come up for me during the month, But I'm challenging myself, and here lies the 3-day challenge that I'm going to do and start every year. I'm going to challenge myself to really be intentional to do something new every year, because that is something that I need in my business and who I am as a person to be able to move myself forward and give myself growth. So if that is something that is on your heart, I would encourage you to use November, because here's the deal. November is interesting. November is kind of the month that is really the end of fall. Yes, I said it. I mean, technically it's still fall, but there's not much going on, right? Unless you are a wonderful person that I know who is getting married and she has her birthday, and November's going to be chaotic for her. But if you are kind of looking at November and saying, I don't have much going on, it is a lot easier to do the hard work and do the hard thinking in a month that is sort of quiet. You know, the kids are in school. Maybe you've gotten the school rhythm down, but it's not quite December, right? Where the Christmas craziness starts, where if you're in the US and celebrate Thanksgiving, that starts. So what better time to take November than to work through ideas that you have that have been sitting on the wayside, or maybe you have, a journal with a brain dump of things that you want to get done. November is a wonderful time to do that. So reflecting back on, kind of my life and 37 years, it's really been an amazing journey. And I am so thankful that I decided to go through therapy. I am so very thankful that God has put it in my life to keep chasing after my business, to keep chasing after who I want to become and who I want to evolve. And I say that I can't wait until I hit 40 all the time. And the reason why I say that is because I have heard, and you all can message me and tell me different if that's so, but I've heard that once you get to 40, like life just really, really takes off. So I'm in the period of waiting, obviously, and doing the things that I need to do in the meantime. But I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. For those of you that have showed up, for current clients, for past clients, for those that just encourage me on the sidelines, I really do appreciate all of you. And so happy birthday to us, right? Because it is a wonderful time to celebrate you, no matter what day it is. If you want to share my birthday, you can share my birthday. If you already share my birthday, which is technically November 2nd, then happy birthday to you as well. That is it for today. I just wanted to come on and say thank you. And if you are struggling with your birthday this year, and if you're struggling with how to show up in your business because you're going through some tough times, I will tell you this in every episode, and I mean it with my whole heart. Send me a message and I'm happy to be your friend. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you heard something that helped you, I would love it if you would leave a review and share it with your friends. This helps more people just like you become inspired to move the needle of their big CEO energy into a positive direction. If you would like to learn more about how I can help you streamline and position your business for growth, or lead your business as a CEO, feel free to jump into the show notes with all of the links to find me. And don't forget to head over to Instagram so we can be pals.